10 moments ago, up on the Hill, the Senate Armed Services Committee held a hearing with the Pentagon director who oversees reports on UFO sightings. It comes after the Department of Defense released its annual report on UFOs, also known as UAPs. The Pentagon office in charge of the sightings has been reviewing over 1,600 cases to date. Joining us now, NewsNation Washington correspondent Joe Khalil, who was up on the Hill attending that hearing. You know, Joe, what's so remarkable about this, I think, is we had the House hearing last week, the Senate subcommittee hearing today. This was some of the first orders of business in both chambers right after the election.
It really is becoming something that's no longer stigma to talk about, and we're seeing it in both chambers. Blake, you're right. One of the first things we've seen. Big takeaways today from this hearing. The new director of Aero, Jon Kosloski, very humbly said before the Senate that while they've investigated and resolved hundreds of cases, there are still several that are unresolved, even after very intense scrutiny. They simply can't explain some of the phenomenon they're seeing on video and from firsthand credible witnesses. One story he told in detail of a law enforcement officer who saw an orange orb in the sky, drove to it, and I'll let you hear what he said happened next. Take a listen.
The area was well lit. He saw a blacker than black object. He said it was about the size of a Prius, 4 to 6 feet wide. And as he got 40 to 60 meters away from the object, it tilted up about 45 degrees, and then it shot up vertically. He says 10 to 100 times faster than any drone he's ever seen before. And it did that without making a sound as far as he could tell from inside of his vehicle. And just as it left his field of view through his windshield, then it emitted very bright red and blue lights.
He went on to say, we don't understand how something could move in that way, that fast, and we have to assume it could be a national security issue. Blake, the other big takeaway, at the very end of the hearing, Senator Gillibrand asked the director there, what can we do as a Senate to help you? And his response was all of these whistleblowers that have come forward to you talking about undisclosed and illegal programs about, reversed crashed UAP. Many of those people we've heard from here on NewsNation, tell them to come to us because many of them don't trust the agency or the Pentagon. And he says we could use your help directing them our way.